Good, how are you?
I'm good. Firstly, I don't know if you can see it, but that is a fantastic top. Really, really good.
Thank you.
To match the haircut. Today, Dave, we are reviewing the X series.
I know, exciting.
Yeah, I think so.
It started off slow, ended pretty good, pretty well.
Had a really good period in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's like all together, it's a good set. Like all the best of the best and the worst of the worst. Will be interesting.
I agree. Shall we look at some cards to begin with?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the epics.
Yes,
that we got
please,
throughout the X series, because I think there were quite a few there. So, Black Star Pikachu, Gold Star Pikachu, rather.
Mm-hmm. Epic pose.
Pretty cool. And this, I think, was one of my favourite sets. X-Hole Phantoms.
Yes.
It was number 2 overall.
Yep.
So it's pretty good.
And it's like an entire new area.
Yeah, which, again, I find amazing was not in any games.
No, it's just the TCG, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is, like...
I love it.
It's funny because in a lot of ways to me this doesn't tick the typical epic card boxes.
I mean, yes, because in a sense usually it's like it's when we say doing an epic move, it's actually doing a move, whereas Pikachu here is only posing quite epically.
I get what you mean and I agree. And it's just like the colours, everything just really worked here.
Yeah.
So that was the first one from Holland Phantoms. We had a second one in the shape of this Gyarados.
Like a shiny Gyarados on fire. Need I say more?
It was just really cool. Again, I'm not even sure this does it justice on camera.
Better in person.
One of those ones, eh?
Yeah.
Very, very cool. But my favourite card that we've had so far between any of the sets is this one here.
Big call.
I know, but I think partly because it's that Hajime Kusajima.
Yes, which we discovered
throughout
the series.
Which we'll touch more on later, for sure. But the colours, everything just gets me really excited here. I love this card.
The detail as well, amazing.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. So that's my favourite card that we've seen out of any. There's this close second, which, again, we'll see later.
Yep.
Then we'll have a look. This was Unseen Forces, if my memory serves correctly.
I'll go with you, yeah.
Gold Star from that. One of the Gold Stars, anyway.
I love it.
Yeah, lightning.
The pose, the colours, the claw coming out of the frame into your face.
Go and get you. Brilliant card. And there were quite a few as well from Unseen Forces. We had this Cyndaquil.
Yes. One of the rare commons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that made it into epic.
Yeah, but deservedly so. Just so many cool things going on here. The colours, I know colours always come up.
Yeah,
and Hajime Kusajima.
The detail and the fire, the detail in the fire itself is already super epic.
Yeah, fantastic card. And Typhlosion was also in there.
Do we have a thing for fire type Pokemon?
That's a fair question. I don't know. Fire does make things cool, and so does electricity.
Yes, true. So fire and electricity are probably our highest performing types in Epic so far, I think, off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, even I go back to the Mewtwo, I think it was from Expedition, maybe. It was an Epic, and that was a Psychic, but it had lightning going through it. So definitely a theme there, I suppose. But yeah, this card, again, the fire, the move, the anger, everything in there. Beautiful. Let's have a look at this Feraligatr. We got a water type in here, so a little bit of something different.
Yes. I mean, again, look, awesome pose. Love the detail. That water splash, the water coming off the hand, the claw, sorry. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's not a Hajime Kusajima, which is a nice change.
Yes.
But beautiful. Lovely, great card.
So, who are you saying we were talking about again?
Do you know, it's funny because at this point I didn't even think we'd realised.
We didn't.
No.
This was a few weeks later, I think.
Yeah, this is X Emerald, this one here, and what a card. Again, we say the same thing. The colour, the pose, everything just really works here. Yeah, really like this. And again, probably not done justice on camera.
I didn't realise this, but it has 4 moves.
Oh my goodness, I think it does.
That is insane. That's the first time I've seen that.
That is pretty crazy.
Well, no, technically it's not the first time we've seen that. It's the second time we've seen that.
Yeah.
Or we should take notice.
First time we noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. look, we'll move on. Here's another X Emerald one. There are 4 of these in the epic category.
Lightning, detail, pose.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
A lot going on.
I mean, my only complaint about this one is the lack of color in the background, in a sense.
Camera doesn't do it justice.
But, yeah.
Like, I think if you see him in person, you get a lot more depth with the purple in there. Trying to get it on camera as best as possible. But I do take your point. It could be a little bit more vibrant, perhaps. Yep. Okay. This Dodrio was... Ooh.
It's so cut off, but it's still epic.
It just works. It just really works. And I know you hate cut off with a passion. You wish that they just destroyed them all.
No, well, it works. Look, this is the perfect case for it, right? It's done so well.
It gives you a sense of chaos almost, which is what you want from Dodrio.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, I think this is actually you that elevated it in Dave's decisions, which I'm so glad you did, because it is great. Here is the Pikachu from that set.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Pikachu's redemption arc, this whole series.
Well, they've got so many Pikachus in between all the sets, so there had to be some good ones, right?
Started off pretty badly.
I thought so, but I'd say a lot of people will disagree, but that's, their prerogative.
But they shouldn't disagree with this one, because look at it.
Beautiful. Yeah, really well drawn. And lightning as well.
And still cute.
Yep. This is from XDeoxys, the Rayquaza.
Second Rayquaza, third? Second?
Overall, it's probably the third. Yeah. It's an interesting one. Again, doesn't feel like it fits the typical color and...
I mean, a shiny Rayquaza is black.
But this isn't shiny? Or
it is, though. It is. So every Gold Star one is a shiny version.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that officially what it was?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Didn't realise. I thought it was just a Gold Star thing. But, look, I love this card in so many different ways. It's also, as we spoke about when we went through XDeoxys, a really popular card.
Yeah.
Like, it's super collectible.
I think I like how bright it is in the background, and then it kind of offsets the Rayquaza.
Very the contrast there, which is again not something that would normally work, but it does here for some reason.
Oh my god, so many sparkly stuff.
Yeah, sparkles definitely add to it. Charizard from X-Fire Red, Leaf Green.
I was kind of let down by that set.
Yeah, so was I.
So, but I'm glad we got an epic out of it.
Yeah, do you know what that kind of gets me worried about the Pokemon 151?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's gonna be good, because, come on.
I know, but you would have said the same thing going in, and I was really excited about this set too, and then we went through and it was kind of so. And to be honest, the leaks that I've seen from Pokemon 151...
Oh no. You shouldn't do that, you shouldn't look at leaks.
I can't, they come up on Reddit, I can't help it. I'm not...
Not great?
Look, they've only been 4 or 5, and they're not bad, but they're nothing special. But people, of course, will go, oh, it's Pokemon, the original, it's a Gen 1, it'll be cool. And there'll be people that love them. They'll get caught up in the fanfare of it all.
I think we will too.
Oh, it's not like I'm not going to get it. But yeah, this is, I hope it doesn't have the same fate as this.
Agreed. Valid.
And then what was it? XY... Not Evolutions was very similar, but XY Evolutions, you already had cards you'd seen before, whereas this is at least different. Anyway, there's one epic Charizard. Here is another one. This one from X Dragon.
Yep. It's pretty intense, this one. The intensity of the fire coming out of its mouth.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of heat coming there, isn't it? And the mountain in the background. It's funny. Again, it feels quite different to a lot of our other epic cards, but it's cool. Very cool.
Ticks the boxes.
And the last one was actually the first epic from the X series that we had.
Yeah. From
X Sandstorm was this Saliva.
I love it. I only wish they did it justice with the reverse of the Zangoose. Like a Zangoose card in this style.
Look at that?
There was a Zangoose, but it wasn't anywhere near as epic as this one.
Okay. Yeah, I do like the reverse stories. They're always good. Yeah. Again,
action, moves, pose, colours, everything, right?
We're just Hajime Kusajima fans. We can't help it. Fanboys. Yeah.
No, we have to be objective.
Look, we are, and we'll get, as I said, we'll get to him in a bit more detail later. All right, I have a lot more cards to go through, obviously. shall we have a look at some holos that didn't quite make the epic grade,
Yes.
but were really pretty, really
Yeah.
great? Cool. So here's this Blaziken.
Actually, I like this one.
Yeah, I do too.
It's just like it's got a cool pose. I wouldn't say epic pose. Cool pose, right? Good detail, good colors. That just needs to be like fire.
Yeah, right, coming out. But it was pretty. And like, this is next level pretty.
That is beautiful.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just no move. It's just liking
but
that.
it like it's a butterfly, beauty fly in this case, right? But like, there's more than one of them. They're flying. The sunset's in the background. Beautiful.
And the artist, of course.
Yes,
He
of
knows
course.
And we'll just keep on the Hajime chain.
Ah, my goodness.
This Sableye was
This is
fantastic.
one of my favorites, if not my favorite Sableye card.
Yeah, probably. I don't remember too many others, to be fair.
Right.
But it's hard not to. It's
Yeah.
hard to better this.
There was one other one that was pretty cool. It was very different art style, but this one, goodness. And because it's a holo, it really adds to the card itself.
Get a lot more depth
Right?
out of it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Beautiful.
beautiful Sableye. Here is a Soul Rock from X Sandstorm. A little bit different, but I just like the colours, the brightness of it.
And the actual sun behind it as well.
Yeah, it just
Beautiful.
feels like what you would want a Soul Rock card to be.
Exactly.
Alright, we'll have a look at this pincer.
This was good.
This was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it ended up being great.
It definitely
Yes.
did. But we couldn't bring it to Epic.
I mean,
Not
no,
far off. You
okay.
could- It's just a beautiful card. Like, again, with the depth, probably not quite obvious on video, but in person, really just works.
Amazing.
Yeah. Goodness, I genuinely wasn't doing this on purpose. It's just Hajime Kusajima everywhere in the X series. So, thoughts on this? Beedrill?
For some reason, I don't remember this card.
Do you not? It was
I do
probably because there were so many in this set.
We've gone through a lot. But it's very pretty.
Yes. Like, it's kind of reminiscent of the Beedrill of the Beautifly in terms of colours.
Yeah, and there's more than one as well.
Yeah.
Just realised. Nice.
Yeah.
Really
well
well
done.
drawn. Great detail.
Then there was this Tauros, which was different.
Yes. So for me, I love the art style, but the face, the head of the Tauros itself is a little off for me.
It's too realistic, like almost human-like.
Maybe, and also too human-like in a sense.
Yeah.
It kind of creeps me out a bit, but still, nonetheless, still a beautiful card.
Good. I'm glad you like it. This was beautiful as well. This Pidgeot. Also from X-Fire Red Leaf Green.
Bias aside, personal bias aside, it's
Of your love of
beautiful
Pidgeot.
card.
It absolutely is. There's no doubting that. Everything about this just, not quite epic, but so close.
It's like a swirl around its beak.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it looks like it's pecking it right in the middle of it. Love this one.
Yeah.
Dark Electrode, a couple here from Team Rocket Returns. Yeah, the dark holos here were, I think all of them were almost great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the color, the shadow is just really, and that's common across the holos in this set.
Yeah, they captured it perfectly.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dark Slowking, another one from this one. We got lightning there.
Lightning aside, look at it. Very scary.
And the clouds as well, just the detail in those.
Yes. Very dark. Very fitting.
Yes. Curious to see what you think of this one, Dave. I'm gonna let you talk about this while I just pop over get removed. And I'm back.
Very different art style.
Yes.
Little childlike in a sense, but in a happy way. In a nice way. I like it.
Good
and
colours.
also, the background kind of reminds me of Starry Night.
Does it? Okay.
In a
With
sense.
Vince Van Gogh.
Yeah. Nice.
Look, it's Hajime Kusajima. Not that all of his cards
Oh, it
automatically
is.
are great.
It is him.
Well, it's just they're cool one. And here's another one.
Oh, yes.
We really like this Claydol.
We did. And, finally see Claydol actually doing a move.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot of the time it was just kind of, I think maybe
Floating
Yeah,
there.
didn't do much.
That's good.
This was a great card too. The colours on this. The Delta species from the Holland region.
Yes, and that was exclusive to the Holland region, which
Yes.
is really cool. It's something we've never seen before.
Yeah, and then they kind of... I wish they would have kept it going as the cards evolved.
Did they not do any more after this?
They didn't do any Delta species. What they obviously started doing was the Alolan type thing.
But that's that you see in game, which is kind of like, okay, cool, but Holland Fandom was exclusive to the TCG.
Yeah, the Holland thing, yeah.
So I kind of wish it at least they touched on it, but they didn't.
I don't think that comes back to it at any point. But this one, just, the colours here. Stop. This is, fantastic card. Another one, this one from Unseen Forces.
Reminiscent of the Blastoise.
Which one?
The one under, Blastoise was kind of half in, half out of the water, but swimming towards you.
The expedition
about to pounce, yeah.
That was a great card.
Beautiful. We complain sometimes about it being too much of one colour, but it works. It's in the water.
Oh, it really does work here. I think the patterns with the water there as well. Another Hajime Kusajima one. Just everywhere. Not this one, though. This is another great Pidgeot.
It is. And it's got electricity everywhere. Very drawing, great colours. Love the pose.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well said. Just, again, so close. So many of these, I feel like, were so close to being epics. Just missed out.
Ooh.
Nice Blastoise here.
Yeah. I like drawing. Borderline dancing. But look, the detail, the crystals in there, because of Holland, right?
There was a whole thing. Region. This was Crystal Guardians? Yeah. There was a whole thing there. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
Goodness.
Very nice. Melotich.
Yes. Cool pose.
Beautiful colours.
Different setting too. And on fire.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just admiring the cards. Here is Ninetales.
Oh, goodness.
X-Dragon Frontiers.
Beautiful.
Another Kusajima card. Details just in that. Incredible. Okay, couple more.
Ooh, this was an epic pose.
It was an epic pose. Just needed to get a bit of fire coming out. Add it, and it's...
I know.
But still a great card. A detail on the grass as well. Like
borderline, right? Honestly, it's just missing a move or something more, something extra, and then definite epic card.
Yeah, just really love. Sorry, I'm enjoying going through these highlights from the X series. Another Kusajima card. This Raichu. Details in the background. Do you like this one? Yes, no. Beautiful card. Very cute Raichu, which is why it kind of got stuck also in Great and not in Epic. Yeah, but it's not doing a move. But it's a very happy. It's like you see this guy, you're like, oh, I feel really happy. Yeah. This is my move. I'm glad. We'll just have to remember to keep that one around. Just show it to me every 5 minutes. I was feeling down again. Here you go. Yeah, but you're always happy. You're the glass half full. I'm the glass half empty. Yeah. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. So those are some of the holo highlights from X series. Lowlights? Lowlights. Highlights and now to the lowlights. No, we won't do lowlights. Okay. I'm going to keep it positive. Alright. So who's half full, half? Yes. I just wanted... Well, do you know why? Because I know we go through the worst cards, and some of them in the X series, they weren't even bad. They were just... True. We just needed to pick one. Good point. So the worst of the card, the set, but not bad per se. Correct. So I thought we'd leave them. Yeah. Let's change gear a little bit. Okay. Let's just have a quick review of the X series, the sets, and how they sat. So here we have the leaderboard. So the rank on the left is out of the X series, and in the brackets is where they sat on the overall leaderboard. So when you factor in the Wizards of the Coast sets too. That's pretty scary. They covered most of the top 15. Oh, comfortably. Yeah. So 7 out of the top 10. Yeah. Which is pretty good, I think. And then 3 after that. And even more on the next page, I assume. But yeah, X Emerald, comfortably happy, very happy with that. Yeah, and X Emerald, and look, X Unseen Forces did really well too, but X Emerald is still miles ahead. Yeah, agreed. Followed closely by Holland Phantoms. Yeah. With good reason. 2 of them were just unbelievable. Dragon Frontiers, I think that one was surprising. No epics, and it's sitting in 4th. That's right. But so that I think that 4-point barrier, if a set gets over 4, it's an indicator that it's really good.
And like you got more cards in the set that's worth collecting overall.
I think that's a really good way of looking at it.
Right? Yeah.
So anything, I'm just trying to have a look here at the 50% mark. So where's that 50% over a good and over come in? Roughly around that 3.8 here.
So I think it kind of needs to be
even lower.
Even like either a quarter, 25% of the set has to be above average.
You mean 75%?
75%.
Yeah.
I can't math, but yes, 75% and above has to be above average.
Yeah, got you. Okay, cool. And then X-Team Rocket Returns, that was fantastic. We looked at a couple of the Dark Colors from there. That really propped it up.
I'm glad it did well, though, because there's a lot of nostalgia in the Team Rocket set, and that wasn't so great in hindsight.
No. You mean the original set, the Wizard of the Coast one, yeah.
So it's good that this one did well.
Yeah. X-Delta Species, that one doesn't ring too clear in my mind.
The name made it sound like it was gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad. Just was kind of like, okay.
Couldn't have been too bad. I mean, it sat 9th overall. So that's pretty good. Sixth best set out of the X series, but 9th overall. X Legend Maker, Crystal Guardians, Power Keepers. So X Crystal Guardians and Power Keepers, I think, were towards the end. They were still good.
Yep.
X Dragon. Yeah, I mean, 13th. You're getting kind of in the middle of the pack here.
Yeah, I'm annoyed that X Dragon didn't have more dragons.
Yes, fair enough. X Deoxys. That was the Rayquaza Gold Star. Should have done better. And then you kind of have the earlier sets here.
Yeah, Ruby Sapphire, X Legends, X Fire Red, and X Green. And Team Magpie.
And X Sandstorm was the second set.
Yeah.
So that puts what? They had 12 in the top 15.
Yeah.
Which is about half of the sets, which is
really good.
Yeah, I think that's a good indication.
And it's good because you want them to be improving as they make more. As they release more sets.
Look, we'll see what happens with that with the next.
Yes, you've warned me about that.
Well, it's Diamond and Pearl, so time will tell. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but overall, I think it really is safe to say that the X series was just way better than Wizard of the Coast.
Agreed, and that's kudos to them.
Yeah. It was good because obviously Nintendo took it over from Wizard of the Coast at that point. And it felt maybe at the beginning they were rushing kind of thing.
Yeah, they were riding the hype, right? Yeah.
Were they riding the hype at that point? Because you go, it's hard to say because maybe it's an age thing as well. We were kind of at the age where we stopped collecting Pokemon cards. Did other people, did the young ones younger than us keep going
continued with it? Maybe. We need to do some more research on that.
My gut says no.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, I feel like there was a real lull in Pokemon towards the end of the Wizards of the Coast. After maybe the E series, so Expedition, Aquapolis, and Skyridge.
That's true. I didn't even get into those sets.
Yeah, I didn't either. I kind of remember the Neo ones, and then it dropped off, and then I didn't come back into it. I mean, I didn't come back into it until Black and White, so it was a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. Interesting. So I'd be really curious. I reckon it only really, I can't even say it really picked up again. I think the interest really picked up again around the XY series because there were some cool sets there. But that's by the by. We'll see. We'll see what happens in Diamond.
We'll get there.
Yes, indeed. So that's the sets. I'm comfortable with the way they sit.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Good. I'm glad.
Let's hope that the newer sets will, change that up a bit. Fingers crossed, maybe. I mean, the newest ones obviously will, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you mean like the what are they called? Scarlet and Violet and
Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield, yeah.
Oh, time will tell.
We've got a lot of stuff a lot of sets in between to get through. So
we have about 50 before we start to get through this. So yes,
just 50,
definitely so. All right, so let's have a look at some more cards. Let's have a look at the award winners for
please,
the best non-holos.
Oof.
So we'll rattle through these because they do appear on the wall every week. But just as a reminder. This was obviously Ruby and Sapphire. Mm-hmm. Great colours, everything about it we liked.
Yep.
Hajime Kusajima.
Of course.
Before we knew that name, really. I remember this was
Yes.
different, but it was cool.
It's a hero 3-star.
Do you know what actually, like, looking back at this really makes it? Is just the lighting
Right?
on that.
Yeah. It's captured perfectly.
Such a subtle detail, but so important at the same time.
Very nice.
Oh, this Houndour. Love this.
I love how there's bonus Houndours as well.
Yeah, running in a pack.
Yep.
Colours are brilliant. Hajime Kusajima. I just got to start saying Kusajima, otherwise I say his name all the time.
You feel the movement as well, the speed that they're running at.
Which is done really simply,
Yeah.
just with these lines
Right?
sort of going through it.
Beautiful.
Impressive. This is, I think, one of the weaker award winners.
Correct.
And that was... What set was that? XT Magma vs. Team Aqua. Yeah.
For me, still one color. Seems like
Yeah.
brown.
But I look back at it, and I still think this was the best non-holo in the set. Or non-rare.
I have to agree.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is why it's on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, when this came 22nd overall. It was the second worst X Series set, so it's no surprise to see that. Here's a nice sunny cast form.
Yes. Very different. Not the typical style we'd go for an award winner, but look at it.
Has the colours.
Exactly.
Which is what we do love. Oh, this
Oh, wow.
Diglett.
See, usually you see Diglets and they're like cute little, happy little Pokemon, but look at this one. It's
Angry.
Like, ooh, stay away. Make room for that Diglett.
Colourful as well.
Yeah.
Very well done. Dark Arbok.
Very different style. It's kind of like a 3D model, 3D render.
Yeah, so the one thing, the common theme, I think is safe to say with most of our award winners, and our favourite cards generally, are the colours.
Yeah.
So it's good that we can look past the style and appreciate them, but can we look past the lack of colour, or does the lack of colour tend to make a card not great?
I mean, the Rhyhorn is a good example of we did look past that.
Because we had to.
Oh.
But I take your point to an extent as well.
Yeah. We could have easily said, no, there's no good winners in that set, but we can't.
No. Look, I'm happy. Yeah, I like this kind of... I also, it has a bit of not a story, that's not the right word, but just a feeling, an emotion to it. I hope that doesn't sound too silly.
I like this one. Again, colours make it really nice. But it's such a nice, simple drawing done well. Captures it. Perfect.
Yeah, I think interesting. I'm glad you like it. To me, it's one of the weaker ones. I find.
I mean, still, it works.
It works. Yeah.
Simple but effective.
Agreed. Let's stick with that. This.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. So many. I can say that about so many cards.
It's kind of similar to the Houndour one, but in a lighter, happier tone.
Yes, I completely agree. But again, it's like Kusajima style, so that's what you expect. Here's another Kusajima. Beautiful card.
I still find that pose weird.
Do you? Do you know what this reminds me of? You played Pokemon Go, right? On Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when you would throw the Pokeballs at the Cypher and get it to come out of the grass.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of had that
Pokemon
look.
Snap.
Pokemon Snap, sorry, not Pokemon Go. Yeah, Pokemon Snap. Yes, very much so.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's
It's just the head turning a bit weirdly.
Too much to the side.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I love Pokemon Snap, by the way. That's a great game. Dragonair, another Kusajima card.
Nice.
Honestly, this guy just dominated the X Series in terms of good cards. Yeah. You happy with it?
Yes, definitely.
Something a bit different here. It's not even different. It's quite similar in style.
Yeah, but it's nice and kind of peaceful, serene.
I like that. It's definitely. I like the story that it's got going on there. It's communicating with the flowers or Aurelia. Primate.
Oh, I love the blues against the Primate.
I just love everything about this card. Yeah. It's fantastic. Colours, pose, even the sort of the shadowing on the Primate there, just little details make such a big difference.
And it's a fire type because of the Delta species.
That it is.
It's blue fire, so it's really hot. It's really burning.
Hot.
Yeah.
You feel that. We talked before about favourite cards. This is another one of mine.
So second, was it?
Probably, yeah. The colours in this just do it for me. Yeah. And the pose kind of like, I know it's not surfing, it just feels like it is.
It does feel like it's surfing, right? The water as well, splashing in the front. Beautiful.
Yeah. Very similar. It reminds me a lot. So this Squirtle and the next award winner.
The Bagon,
Yeah. not as colourful, but still, yeah, just love it. So well done.
Very similar. Very, very similar.
Yeah, right. And then the last one from
this
Power
is done
Keepers.
so well. The colours, the lights, the pose itself, how it's up close and personal, but you get the reflection, the lights on the back of the mind. Beautiful.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we've had a lot of Hajime Kusajima. We're going to go into even more.
Okay.
Because
did you?
Yeah, so whatever you think I did the answer is yes. I basically went through all the sets and I pulled out. So we've already seen a lot of holos tonight.
Yes.
And we've seen all of those award winners, which a lot of them were his. I wanted to go and have a look at some of the other cards that we looked at but didn't give as much attention to. For example, this is not the best. Early on, I don't think I gave it enough credit to begin with, so I thought we'd just have a look at his sort of, and also his evolution in his drawing style.
Okay.
So let's take this as an evolutionary point. This is the early days.
Okay.
It does get better though, slowly. You have the Sea King here. You get the colours coming out a bit more. Then you have the bit more of the detail with this.
I remember I liked this card a lot.
You did. I actually remember that as well. And one of the things I think what makes Kusajima, why we like him so much, is because he does have both the colour and the detail that really makes it stand out. So, yeah, that's that. And we have this Wormpool, which details.
Yes, I remember this one.
Early days. This is the first set, obviously. So maybe it's hard to say evolution, but yeah, I don't know.
He's grown as an artist.
He definitely has, and it happens pretty quickly, I'd say, as well. Like, this is still, as I said, the first set, so it's not like he changed that much. Here's an Arcanine.
Oh, it's like the background, the power. It's like very traditional Japanese style.
Yes, absolutely.
Lovely.
Golduck.
Ooh. Wait. Was this one of his as well?
Yeah.
Goodness.
There's so many of these. This Routes. Now, one thing, I actually don't think we touched on this, and I only realised it as I was going through the cards. So, the Sandstorm, and I think also the Sapphire, might have only been the Sandstorm, I'm not even sure. It has two versions.
What?
So it has the E-Series card.
Oh, yeah.
And then it has one that isn't E-Series.
Yeah.
And from memory, the difference is that these came from one of the starter decks, and these were in the booster packs.
Right.
I think that's the situation. Can't be 1,000% sure, but that I know there's one of the sets that has something like that. Anyway, just a little thing there. But yes, the detail in this.
It's amazing.
The colours, like, a little bit washed out, but...
Watercolours.
Yeah,
watercolour style,
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I really... It's just well done. This is an interesting one for him as well.
Different. You can see the colours, good use of colours. I think it's very different style.
Very different style, which I think... Okay, maybe this one doesn't work as well as some of the other ones, but...
It's still very nice. Though.
Yeah, and it also, I think, speaks to his range, is what I will say. Yes. And then we have this Pineco?
Pineco.
You say Pineco.
I say Pineco.
It's always been Pinnacle in my head. Did we not say this when we...
I don't remember it.
I don't either.
I mean, we've gone through so many sets. We must have had the same discussion before. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, fair enough. The details in the background here are just subtle, but so important.
It looks like a pine cone has fallen down from a tree and just sitting on the grass and the leaves at the bottom.
For sure.
It's great.
I don't know why this hollow's in here, but it is. I'd say I don't know why it's in here because it should have been with the other hollows. But, yeah. Just the detail on the Pokemon here, I think, is so... It might be a little bit hard to see, but the way it's drawn...
Oh, yeah, it's way better in person.
You can sort of see just the minute details.
Yeah.
Which, brilliant. It makes it look really realistic, I think. So, yeah.
Nice.
Loved it. Doug Trio.
Oh, yeah.
This one, so. Like, it's nice. I think the details kind of with the sunlight coming through.
Very same style as the Diglett, right?
Yeah, same set, obviously, the X-Fire and the Kakuna.
Oh. I remember this card, not one of my favourites.
Wasn't it really? I think this is one of the better Kakuna ones.
Oh, I have to agree with you there, I guess. That flashbacks of that weird black
Whole one, yeah.
thing around that Kakuna.
I don't even remember
Anyway.
what set that was from anymore.
No.
But yeah, this I actually really like this Kakuna card. Anyway, we move on.
Fair enough.
This reminds me a lot of the routes.
I love this one.
You do, yeah.
Love this one.
Bit of the watercolor going on again. Manectric.
Oh. Details, the shading, beautiful.
Great card. The
Yes. Both of them?
Both of them.
Yes. See, this is a very, very happy card. This is what I want with the Zangoose and the Survivor.
yeah, it's a shame they didn't do this, hey. But then he did it for you here.
Yeah.
I actually, to be honest with you, I appreciate the reverse imagery of it, but the cards themselves, they're okay. Like, they're nothing phenomenal.
Yeah, they're not like, I don't know, they're probably just playing with each other, right? But they're not doing a move, they're not really fighting each other or anything. So it's kind of like, in a sense, it's a beautiful drawing, but that's it.
Yes, I agree with that. Oh, this larger I loved.
Mm.
I really, really like this one. I think this might have actually gone into great as well.
Yep.
The X-Cloud was
X-Cloud.
epic from this set.
Correct.
X-Emerald.
The X-Cloud with 4 moves.
Yes, this one only had 2. Doduo, again, the
Yes.
Dodrio was epic. Very similar, same style.
This was great.
Brilliant cards. Love this.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Very clean. Love it.
But good colours. This, every time I see this card, I like it more.
I have to agree. It's growing on me each time.
The details, the contrast with the yellow, the blue, and even sort of the darkness in the background. Phenomenal stuff. Quilava, where the other 2 in the evolution line were both epic.
It's a shame this one isn't. Still a great card.
It really is
Very
nice.
beautifully drawn.
Needs a little bit more colour in there, I think, would have.
Colour and doing something else.
Agreed. The Chinchu.
Very similar to the Lantern.
Yes.
Lovely. Same style.
Details.
Yep. The detail in the bubbles, goodness me.
Yeah, 100%. Mighty Ema.
Yes.
I think, you start to get a lot more of the colours in here. Makes a difference.
Yeah.
And you
like
still have the details as well. Like, it's an interesting style, I find, this one, but it works. Oh, this B10. And I actually think it's very reminiscent for me of Beldum in this set too.
Oh yeah, it ties in really nicely together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just so jealous of this gentleman as a drawer. Bagon.
Yep. Love it.
This was in the hole. I'm guessing that's Hole on the Hole on Tower from
Correct,
memory.
yeah.
The Dratini, we saw the Dragonair as well, was
Similar style.
phenomenal, yeah.
I love how chunky it is at the same time.
This one actually is quite, almost sluggish, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Larvitar.
Yes.
Honestly, do you know what I'm going to do one day? I'm just going to sell all my sets and I'm just going to buy these cards. Basically, yeah, because I honestly think they're so much better than he's consistently to my taste anyway.
Yes, to your taste, I think ticks all the boxes.
It really does.
Yeah. I have to agree too. Ticks a lot of my boxes.
Yeah, but
like it.
He did it without even realizing that it was him.
Yes.
Anorith.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was close to the award winner for this set, not quite. It was up there. As was this Kabuto.
I like it.
Both from Holland Phantom. My goodness, Holland Phantoms was such a good set. Psyduck also.
I think it captures Psyduck's headache perfectly.
Why?
Its troubles.
Oh, the pose,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just well drawn as well.
Beautiful colours.
As was this Trapinch.
Such a happy pinch. I think the eyes adds to it as well. Starry eyes all the time. Love it.
Bless him. This Venusaur was fantastic. Definitely, hands down the best Venusaur we've seen so far.
Not sure, not the first one. Base set.
That was the most boring one we've seen so far.
What did you say?
Dried up cabbage that's been sitting in the sun for too long. Dried up sweaty. I can't even. It was just such a contradiction, that card. Way better. Give me this every day of the
This
week.
is beautiful. the purples, the greens, everything ties in so nicely.
Good. Glad we're on board with that.
Ooh, yes. I love the use of the pink. I don't know what that is, but is it the crystals? It's really nice.
I'd say it's the crystals, yes. And there are glow off them as well underneath him. Phenomenal. Lady on.
Oh, I love this one. Did we put this in grade?
We must have.
did.
I can't even remember, but I'm assuming we would have.
Awesome.
And I think you also managed to put this one in there.
Yep. The detail, look at it. For neither end, common card, it's beautiful.
Yep. I agree. And well, next up we have this Ralts again, but I just thought we'd highlight the fact that it was done twice. Still nice. Hasn't changed in the last 5 minutes. The seal.
Love it.
Yeah, there's just this guy is so good.
Yeah.
Nuzleaf.
Cool pose. Cool movement and action. Nice.
And finally, we got there in the end, this cactus.
Yeah, again, like, I think he hit the nail on the head with the detail he managed to get into the illustration, the cards itself. It's amazing. It really makes it.
I agree. So that is Hajime Kusajima, which, look, there were some other cards, obviously, that we didn't look at tonight from him throughout the sets, which weren't as good. But overall,
that's a lot of cards.
That is a lot of
That's
cards.
a ton of cards.
That was a whole bunch that didn't even make it into the award winners or the epics or anything like that. They were just worthy of... I think they were worthy of note.
I agree.
For the most part. I want to do one more pile.
There's one more pile.
There is one more lot of cards. And it's the gold stars from the ones that we haven't seen so far.
Yes, we have to go for that.
Actually, that's a lie. I've got two more sets. Two more things to go through. Yeah. We'll get there quickly.
Okay.
So, firstly, the gold stars, because they were different. They were the first cards to have Pokemon that came outside of the draw.
The frame,
frame, yeah.
And the first shiny Pokemon released in the TCG series, I think.
Were they gold stars in that, or were they shiny?
Well, gold stars are essentially shiny.
Was Trico like?
Yeah, Trico is this color, the shiny type.
What's he normally?
Lighter green.
Oh, lighter green. Okay, all right. Look, I have to be honest. I think for the most part, I was quite disappointed with a lot of the gold stars. I think let's go through them.
Yeah, let's go through them.
So, this is. We had it in great, which I'm okay with because I actually quite like the drawing. But it's quite simple.
It is very simple. It's not just climbing a tree. There's nothing else to it, right?
Yep, exactly. Here's the Torchic, which is cute.
Yes.
But not a lot going on.
Cute. I don't mean, the background's very plain and very simple.
Yes. And then the last one was the Mudkip, which I also quite like.
Yes, it's in its natural habitat, in the sea, in the bubbles. Love it.
Yeah. So those were the first ones from X Team Rocket Returns. Here we have Latios.
I remember now.
And then the Latias.
They were nice, but there was nothing too special about them because they're not really doing much other than flying really fast.
No, but it was interesting because someone commented on the YouTube video, the full set one, saying that they were disappointed that we only had this in average.
Oh, really?
You actually bumped it up to good
in
your decisions, which at least satisfies that. But
so would they have preferred it in great?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I find it hard. Okay, yes, looking at them, it is a good card.
Latias, I would say potentially great now. Because you got the detail in the clouds and kind of like the angle that it's coming at. Latios.
See, it's funny. I prefer the Latios.
Really?
Yeah, I like the contrast with the colours.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't look at either of them and go, they're great cards.
Okay.
I also always found this one quite...
washed out?
Kind of, yeah. It just lacked presence.
Faded?
Yeah. That's always been my thought on that. And this one it's good, but it's just nothing special.
It needs more in the background.
They could be doing a lot more.
Yeah.
Hard to say it's a great card. My thoughts. And then the third one was the Rayquaza from this, obviously. We have the Legendary Dogs.
I actually really like this one. Suicune.
Suicune, sure, let's go with that.
actually know this because I just watched an episode recently.
And they had
had
speaking.
it.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, not bad. Don't mind this. I really, really like the Entei.
Yes.
And then the Raikou was obviously an epic card, which we decided on. So these were actually pretty good.
These are all great cards.
Agreed. Groudon.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this one.
I quite like it because of the blue. The blue had me here.
I can see what they're trying to do with like that fisheye kind of lens and from the bottom up.
But didn't work for you? No, fair enough. Here's the Kyogre.
Kyogre? Oof. I think we had this same discussion
We
last
always
time.
do. We'll do it every time we see one of these. Yeah, it's
Kyogre.
it's not brilliant. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I just don't like the angle, the style of it. It's too big up top, too tiny at the bottom.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And the last one was the Metagross from that.
This wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
Do you like the colours, like the pose?
Yeah.
Everything actually quite works there. Then we have these three, which just was such a letdown.
The golems, yeah, I didn't.
But
I wish they could do. They could have done so much more with them.
Yes, I mean the gold stars weren't as bad as some of the X ones.
Normal ones.
Yeah. This is okay. Like colours are fine. I like the background. The Regirock, I'd say something similar. It's hard to like the drawing of it.
Maybe it's the Pokemon itself.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I like what they've done though. The arms coming out of the frame
With
for all three of them.
Yeah.
No, it works.
Now, this one I think is just the most boring of the three.
I mean, yeah, because it's got both just coming out.
Yeah, and it's just very monotonous, and even the background's very monotonous. So it wasn't a great fan there. This is better. So this came along with the Gyarados.
Yep.
But yeah, really like this. This is a great card. Good colours. Really works there. Celebi.
This was a bit too simple for me, for my liking. You can kind of tell it. You know, it's a time traveling Pokemon, so it's probably traveling into like the space time warp thing, which is cool. But I don't know. It's just the pose. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't mind it. I think the colours are good in the background. Pokemon itself, yeah, okay, the pose isn't brilliant. I'll give you that. So I'm happy with where it's at.
Yep.
And then the Alakazam from...
I quite like this one.
Yeah, this was good too.
Yeah. Nice.
Nothing else to add there. Mew.
I actually kind of like this one more now.
I'm glad. I always like I think our problem, and still my problem with this, is the orange. Just didn't quite work.
Yeah.
And also because I think the Mew gets so lost. Like, it doesn't stand out against the background of the rest of the card. Which,
because the shiny type Mew is blue.
I know, but then you can't make it a water type.
Yeah.
It's a Delta species one, so anyway, that's by the by. I think it's still a decent card. I quite like it, but could have been better.
Yep.
Missed a beat.
Fair enough.
And then this Charizard, which still just confuses the living daylights out of me.
We were so torn on this one.
And I look at it again and I still go, it's not an epic card. It's just, there's something that doesn't work with it. And the fact that it was both of us that looked at it and thought that.
I have to agree, because I can't, I feel like I should say epic, but there's something about it that just makes it not. I just can't figure out what it is.
I don't know if it's the colours, the shading, there are just so many things that don't work.
I don't know, people would probably disagree with us though.
Quite possibly, but that's their prerogative. I can't do anything about that. Then lastly,
I like this one.
Yes.
You were like, okay.
Do you know I like this one? No, I like the Vaporeon. That was my favourite.
Was it?
Yes. Your favourite was the Jolteon.
No, was it?
I think so, yeah. My least favourite was the Jolteon. I might be wrong.
I remember incorrectly. Yeah, probably. Okay.
Because the one thing was, I think maybe neither of us like the Jolteon. Like the legs at the back just
is weird, right? It is a weird angle. What does the Flareon look like?
The Flareon, I actually think is really good too.
Yeah, I like the Flareon.
So
actually, they're all pretty good. The Jolteon's rear legs are a bit odd. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that's one place. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit harsh from my comments at the beginning about the gold stars. They weren't too bad.
They weren't too bad.
Shouldn't complain.
Well, they were better than some of the X cards.
Well, I'm glad.
Is that what?
Yeah, we're not going to go through all the X cards because there are a lot of them. But I do want to just touch on, there was definitely a bit of an evolution with the X cards. So this is...
I kind of like how simple this is.
Don't say that. This card is so plain, so basic. And, okay, in person there is a little bit more detail in the Chansey. But only a little
marginally.
bit. Yeah.
You can barely make out the mouth. Seriously, you can barely make it out.
That's what I mean. So this is like there are a lot of problems with the early X cards. There were some good ones, and I do like this Electabuzz. It's still not an amazing card, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Hitmonchan.
That's alright.
It's alright.
Nice colours.
Same with this.
Like the bubbles.
But
it's quite nice, actually.
And these are some of the better ones. Then what we sort of had was a lot of this.
Yeah, a lot of red. A lot of lost in the rest of the picture.
And weird angles. Like this Mewtwo. I just don't think it works. It's not well drawn. The background hollow. There's none of it.
No. You can see what they're trying to do. It just hasn't been done nicely or well.
No, I really don't think it has. And this,
it's not too bad.
This one's not too bad. I will say that. But again, there's the background, very simple. And I think the first few sets definitely had that with the X cards.
Yeah.
Or EX, whatever you want to call them. Then you have a look at the last set, and you start to get a lot more detail in it, I feel.
Yeah.
Like you have the Claydol. Like the Pokemon stand out more, I think, is really what I find.
Yeah. It's interesting because I didn't realise until now, looking back through all these, that a lot of the backgrounds, or actually most of them, if not all of them, are very simple. All the EX cards.
To be honest, I can't remember. From what we've seen in the first two. So this is the first and last set we're looking at. Yeah. But yes, I tend to agree with you. The early sets were definitely very simple. The latter ones, I mean, yeah, they weren't explosive. They didn't have the detail. But I think that was just the way they were designed, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the focus is on the Pokemon itself and not the background.
This one...
That's nice.
That is nice, yes. That's probably more of an exception. But yeah, I kind of get what you mean, and I didn't want to get all the X cards out, as I said. But for sure, what you say is right. And as we just touched on the Magma, or whatever it was, there was a lot of this going on.
There was some that we couldn't even make out what the Pokemon was.
It was disappointing. I think it was a Cyndaquil as well, or something like that anyway. But yeah, so the X cards, it's interesting to see that they brought them back now for Scarlet and Violet.
Yes.
They'll be done better than this, or they have been so far. But the early ones, some were good, okay, but for the most part they missed the beat.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. Yeah, so that's kind of everything I wanted to go through in terms of cards.
That's decent.
It's quite
a good look back.
There's a fair bit there. What stood out to you?
Hajime Kusajima.
Good, I'm glad you said that.
I honestly had no idea until later on, like towards the end of the X series, that we figured out that a lot of the cards that we liked, that we ranked quite high or epic, were from him.
So many.
So that was interesting, and I mean valid too. Going through all his cards, you can see it's very consistent with his style, with the amount of detail and color and he puts into it. So
yeah,
it makes sense, and that's what ticks a lot of the things that we are looking for and we are asking for in good cards or award winners or epics. So makes sense.
So that was probably the standout from the X series. Is that fair to say?
I think so. Yeah,
I completely agree with you. And going back in setting up this review and just noticing how many of his cards we liked but didn't really dwell on at the time until we realized it's like, oh, we keep saying his name.
Yeah.
So yes, that was very interesting.
Do you know if he did any in the Wizards of the Coast sets?
That's a good question.
Or was that pre him? I have to look into that.
I actually don't remember.
Okay. We'll look into it.
We should.
Good to know. Good to find out.
But I feel like he might have done the Houndour, the first Houndour.
The one that's just standing there?
No. The one that was an award winner from, was it Aquapolis maybe? Let's see. It was. Let's see in a sec. Skyridge. I think that was him.
Okay. That was a nice card.
Yeah. It was a good card. So I think he might have come in the E series, if memory serves correctly.
Okay.
yeah, so that's... Sorry, dropping things everywhere. So...
The cards.
Yeah, I don't really have... That was my highlight, so you kind of stole that one from me.
Sorry.
No, that's fair enough, but I'm glad you're on the same page.
Yeah. I think that was a good series.
Yes, for sure. I think it's going to be hard to beat.
I think so. Until later on, right? Further down the track, but the best of the best so far, I reckon. The leaderboard says that.
Yes.
Agrees with that, but yeah. Like these, I kind of regret not being into Pokemon cards
at this time.
Back then, when I was younger. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, we were chasing other things. Let's not delve into that comment. Delve into that comment. The other thing I was going to say is, okay, so we just touched on the leaderboard here that there were a lot of X series at the top. So we've had a look extensively at the top 10 as we were going through this. So I kind of want to move past that and go have a look at the lower end because there's been very little movement here.
Yeah. I mean, Jungle at one point was the top.
Yeah.
Look at it now, it's 21st position.
Out of, 31, I think.
Yeah.
So, interesting. It was sitting number 1 for quite a while.
Yep.
Anyway, I digress. What I think will happen with the Diamond and Pearl series, we're going to see a little bit more of these pages.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Oh, really?
I haven't reviewed any of the cards, haven't looked at it, but I think you will see some of these maybe move up the list, or not move down, perhaps is the way to put it.
Do you think, do you have the last page?
Yes. So the last page is just one, I think. It's the Neo Genesis.
Do you think Neo Genesis will stay there with Diamond and Pearl?
My gut says no.
Okay. That's pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
It was, wasn't it?
It wasn't a great set.
No,
I think... And it's weird because I hear people talk about it, and they were talking about the E-Series, and it was like, they were raving about it as well. They're good things. Maybe because they had that other function to it. Swipe, maybe.
I don't know who used that. Like, who? Again,
kids. I remember being in Japan and kids were just like swiping and the cards were getting destroyed, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
What are they doing? Think about the money that they've wasted there. Yeah, look. The E-Series, they didn't do too badly. The Neo, obviously, slightly different. Yeah. This was just a letdown. The last thing to touch on, just the epics one more time. So, interesting here, I think so far we have a total of 27 epic cards. My maths is good there. And 15 of them are from the X series and 12 from Wizards of the Coast.
Okay, that's a good spread.
It's not too bad.
That's a good spread. I mean, I think that one point in the middle of the X series, there were no epics for a while. And then as we head towards the end, there was like 3 or 4 in a row.
Well, there were 2 sets with 4 in a row from memory. So if you have a look, there's one from X Sandstorm, one from X Dragon, and one from Fire Letter from Leaf Green, and one from X Deoxys. So that was 4 out of the first 6 or 7 sets. Yeah. Which isn't many, as you say. Yeah. And then they kind of go bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Which is interesting because I think that kind of reflects that the X series the sets really performed well, despite many of them not having too many epic cards. Because obviously the 2 sets with 4 epics are right up the top there. Yep, of course. Which makes sense. But yeah, I love looking at this page.
And you know what? They all belong there.
They do. I still, even now looking at the Lugia, which we discussed when we did the Wizards of the Coast one. True. I think it does belong. Still good. Yeah, it's still an epic card. Yeah. Just about. I wonder how many cards people will go, oh, you should have had that one there.
Oh, let us know.
Yeah, look, it does get to a point, yes, subjectivity comes into it, and we do say a lot of the time that it's borderline, not all.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to miss the gold stars.
Yes. I'm gutted they don't make that comeback.
Yeah, ditto.
And also, Delta species. I wish they continued that.
Yeah, they were great cards. They really were.
And such a cool concept as well. Very different. Nothing we've seen before.
Nothing we've seen since.
Yeah.
Well, I say nothing we've seen. Again, the Alolan kind of different.
But there's like regional types, regional versions, right? So that
it doesn't feel like the same thing.
Yeah, like they're just like for example, Executor in Kanto is like grass and psychic. In Alola, it's dragon and grass. I think it was. But that's the typing, right? But for them, they're still their typing. They just got another type on top of it, kind of thing, for the Delta species.
Got you.
It's not a normal type for them. Like the Gyarados being a fire type.
Got you. Was sort of different.
It's kind of like yeah.
Okay, I take your point.
It's not a natural thing. I think it's only created, maybe potentially in the Holland region. Potentially.
No, cool. Agreed. Look, obviously they do bring back X after a while.
A long while.
Yeah, and then I think we have level X and level GX and all those different types of things that come into it, which we'll see. I don't want to set you up to dislike the Diamond and Pearl series before we even get into it. Although it might have the opposite effect. I might go, oh, they're all horrible, and you go, oh, these are amazing.
And maybe my segment will get longer.
Yeah. We'll see. We start next week with Diamond and Pearl base set.
Can't wait. Actually, can't wait. I like you're like stomping on it, and I'm like, no, I want to see.
I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious to see what it's like as well, because it might not be as bad as I think in my head.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
There could be some good cards. I mean, I'm sure there will be some good cards in there. They're not going to all be awful. But time will tell. Any final thoughts for the X series?
I like how it ended. It ended on a pretty high note, and the leaderboard sums that up quite well as well. Like so many in the top 10, top 2 are from the X series, right?
Yes, comes 3 in the top 4.
Yeah, so that says a lot, and that sums it up quite nicely how good these sets were. And I remember coming in each week and like getting my mind blown every single week, and I was like, "This is cool."
Yeah, okay, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it as well, because obviously it's not like I sit there and look at the cards all the time.
Are you sure?
Actually, this is kind of why. This is exactly why I wanted to do this with you, so I could actually, we and hopefully people watching could appreciate the cards, because Charizard gets so much attention, and you get Gyarados and Rayquaza, but a lot of the other ones
they don't.
No, especially the non-holos.
I mean, like honestly, if you didn't come up with this concept and this idea, we would have never discovered Hajime Kusajima 1, and also all the beautiful cards that are award winners. We don't give a second thought. No,
I think I feel bad, because obviously people put a lot of effort into their designs, and okay, they're not all brilliant, but some of them will just never be looked at or thought of again. So kind of, I agree with you. I like that you like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In which case, let's complete the review of the X series. It was really good.
Yeah, agreed.
Quite possibly the best era ever. We'll see.
It was, I would say, on average, great. Borderline. Like, very top tier great.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
And the one thing also, the low light, definitely the low light for me for the entire series was the last set, X Power Keepers.
Yes.
Was it Ken Sugimori?
I think so, yes.
Every single card of his was just so average, which kind of reminded me of the Wizards of the Coast days in a not good way.
Yeah. That wasn't the best way to sign off on this series, but can't ask for everything, can we?
I hope there's less of that going forward. Okay. Well, Dave, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
And we'll catch you for Diamond and Pearl next week.
Nice. Can't wait.
Take it easy.